Gamer7, and welcome back to another Create a Sim here on the channel. We are having more of the original, which is mainly alpha, turned into Maxis Match Create a Sim, where I take my Sims and take the original versions and try to Maxis Matchify them. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room speaking. Normally with these videos, at some point in time, I put a photo of the original just randomly before you get to see the final product of the Maxis Match version. However, my dumb butt, for like 4 of these videos while doing the Eevee family, 4 or 3. I think it's Eevee, Flareon, and Jolteon. Yeah, I think it's just 3. I think there's 3. I did this too. I forgot to turn off my webcam. However, my webcam has a little flap, and that's what I use to record my face. That's just what's easier for me at this moment in time. I know some people actually use like a separate camera, but the cameras I have don't really, their quality isn't necessarily bad, but for recording videos, especially some of the Let's Plays that are a little bit longer, I have noticed there's issues when it comes to the cameras I have. Obviously, I could probably get one, but I just find the webcam is easier for me personally. And the way that I record videos, it automatically puts the webcam in the video, and I had the little flap shut down, so not only do you not see my face, it's just a black box. And the way for me to fix that was just to go ahead and plop the photo of the original Sim there. So you're already seeing the original Sim, and if you at all was someone who watched any videos on my old channel, you probably would at least vaguely know who this is, plus also obviously the thumbnail, or not well, yeah, you could tell from thumbnail too, but the name of the video is what I was trying to go for. This is Eevee from my Eevee family, one of my most beloved families ever personally. I still have this family, I still play with them this day. I used to record with them. I had an Eevee family series, and it also coincided with one that was called the Forgotten Family series, which those ones were like the Eevee is, if you don't know, most people probably do know, but Eevee is a Pokemon. She has multiple evolutions, or he. Because my Sim is a she, I'm going with she. But Eevee has multiple types of evolutions based off of different types in Pokemon. However, Eevee does not have evolutions for all types. And at one point in time, I drew my thoughts and ideas for those types that don't exist actually in the game, and then I made Sims based off them. However, that does not fully matter for this video. But yeah, so this is Eevee. She is the eldest of my family. I get that Eevee turns in, like, evolves into the other one, so it'd be like, oh, well, you know, wouldn't she technically be the youngest because she hasn't evolved yet? But in terms of Sims and how I did it, they're all siblings. And, you know, this Eevee just had an Everstone. But yeah, she's the base. She's sort of the original, so I made her the oldest for the purpose of this. And I was Maxis Matchifying her, and honestly, Eevee was one of the ones that I was most interested in seeing a Maxis Match, because I thought her overall aesthetic and style, even though I don't, if you watched my last one where I turned my pink character from my Among Us series, I mentioned how I'm not really good with telling, like, the vibes, the aesthetics, the types, you know, like how I use modern for houses, or goth for, like, styles. I know some of the basics, but when you start going into some of the, like, newer styles or the subsets of those styles, I really don't know the names or what they're called and what exactly they look like, so I just sort of go with the flow. If this is how I'm thinking and feeling for the Sim, this is what I do. I don't know what style it is, but that's their style. That's all that matters. This is Eevee style. But I thought Eevee would be one of the ones that would turn out the best, turning into Maxis Match. She does, to me, Maxis Match a lot of times almost always has this more rounded, softer vibes to it. I don't know why, but that's just sort of how it seems. It's like definitely more softer edges, softer like tones in a way. Yeah, but anyway, thought she would be one of the ones that would turn out the best. I was looking forward to seeing how she would turn out, and it was definitely fun finally getting to turn my Eevee Sims, because even before I ever thought about giving it a go on any Sims, I always had the thought process and the idea of, I wonder what my Eevee Sims would look like, partially because I cherish this family so much. I love them, again. I cannot state that enough. I still play with them to this day because they are on my save where not only do I keep the aging when it's turned on to long, but like I turn it off sometimes. I don't want my Sims to die much in that save. I have gotten to the point when I used to play Sims, like Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3. Almost none of my Sims died, and it's really weird because I talk about how I don't like there's enough repercussions in Sims 4. Like, it's really hard to die by cowplant and stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't seem like Sims die easily. But, you know, in those old ones, I didn't have my Sims die much. But I didn't have much of old age. And I think that's part of the difference. I like sometimes the drama of, like, something random happening and having to deal with that. Because, like, oh no. Like, tragedy struck that gives story and drama to the other Sims in the family versus just dying of old age. Yeah, it's sad that they're gone now, but, you know, like, as someone who has had people in their life die from illnesses, mental illness, physical illness, old age, things like that, I've had a few different people, I've had a few different experiences. When the old age ones, though it is sad, you've sort of gotten your mind prepped and ready for it, and you know it's coming. And versus the other ones, it's like a hard hit. Trying not to take a dark turn here, and the Eevee, talking about it on Eevee's video is also a little weird, because Eevee's like one of my nicest, lighthearted, sweetest characters ever. But yeah, that's just, I guess that's sort of how I view, like, with Sims. Like, for the longest time, I was like, I don't want them to die of old age. Like, I don't want them to die of something I know I could stop by turning off aging. But with my main save, I still have a little bit of that, but I do turn it on every once in a while, and I've accepted the fact. Like, Eevee turning into an adult from a young adult, when she did that, and I did, like, a special on my channel when that happened, because I was, like, celebrating all the episodes of Eevee and all that stuff. Like, I was slightly sad when she aged up, because I was connected to these Sims quite a bit. However, you know, I'm like, whatever. And now in my save, she's honestly not that far from turning into an elder, which is sort of sad, but I've been playing that more on my own now. I still share pictures on my Instagram and stuff like that, which is down in the description below if you would like to follow. I have one that's actually just for Sims now. I still share some Sim stuff on my original one, but there's one that is more for just Sims. But yeah, anyway, Eevee, nice things, happy, go lucky. But yeah, so Eevee's always been more of a, like, to me, like a sweet, nice, innocent character. She always looks all bubbly and happy and all that stuff, and like, so that sort of smooth, not so harsh sort of vibe that I feel that comes with the Maxis Match stuff, I think works with her really well, and definitely felt like she was one. I spent a little bit longer time on her, and it probably is partially because she is one of the Eevee family members. However, I also think, like, I was just like, oh, there's so many things that, like, actually look good on her, and I think I really like this look for her, and, like, all this stuff. She was, like, one of the ones that, as I was making things, I sort of wanted to make more outfits, because it was sort of easy to get outfits for her in a way, or, like, have her vibe, but I was just trying stuff with her. I really, really like, actually, how she turned out. I think it turned out quite well. I feel like she fit the vibe. She definitely wasn't one of them that I was worried about going into this, because I do like the original so much. I was like, meh. Some of them I was a little concerned, a little hesitant with how they were possibly going to look in just the Maxis Match version. But Eevee's, I wasn't too concerned. She was one that I was like, I think she's going to do fine. So, like, I went in, was like, yeah, this is probably, oh, I could do this, and I could do that. And this is working out so well for her, and this fits her nicely. I think it went well. And actually, Eevee, you know, I didn't mention, since her original picture is going to be up in the corner, blocking the big, odd black square, I'm not going to cut in and put her picture in at some point, but there is a comparison at the end of the video, before I forget that. There is a comparison of the original and the Maxis Match together so that you could sort of see them. But what I was going to say, what I was getting around to saying, is that Eevee probably is one of them that I actually sort of liked the Maxis Match version a little bit better. Which is, for me, someone who has so much alpha stuff, especially because I really like the alpha hairs. A little strange, but I definitely sort of liked her Maxis Match version better, oddly enough. Now, Eevee is a character who, over time, has had quite a few hairstyles in my gameplay, and even, like, in my series that I used to have on my old channel. So I tried to go with one that was one that overall, in general, I think matched, like, multiple of her hairstyles. The original one, and the one that I have her photographed with, is the most recent version of Eevee. She's already an adult, not a young adult, and is like how she currently is. So right now Eevee has, like, in story-wise, for my Sims anyway, she has shorter hair and is cut, and she also has a gradient. Sort of wish I could have got the gradient here just because the Pokemon has a few different light brown colors around, like, the little neck area. Don't know what you call that, the little floof. So that's sort of what I tried to keep Eevee's hair, to have that gradient. And I actually have some gradients here, so I'm partially not sure why I didn't try them. I may have not found them until a certain point. I don't know. I have them on Sonia for my Random Life, which is the series that I'm adding these Maxis Match versions. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what was going through my head in that process. But anyway. So yeah, I really ultimately did like Eevee's Maxis Match version. I think she looks super cute, super sweet, easygoing, very friendly, which is the vibes that I could say that I sort of wanted for Eevee all along. Definitely let me know your your thoughts down in the comments below. Whether you like the Maxis Match Eevee, do you like the original Eevee? Have you seen Eevee since the beginning on my old channel? Would like to know. Also, if there are any Sims that you would be intrigued, whether they are on my old channel or on my current channel, if you're someone who's been around for both. If there's any Sims that you would like me to turn into Maxis Match, I can definitely do that. I think this is a series that I am going to do a bunch of them in a row, but it might be a series that every once in a while I add a random one here and there, just for funsies, while other Create a Sim series are going on, or in between a transition from one Create a Sim series to another. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts, any statements, any ideas down in the comments below. I would definitely like to hear from you. Make sure you hit like if you liked the video, all that lovely YouTube goodiness. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. But until then,